Oh, is it humming?
Yeah, it is.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
That's so bad.
Yeah.
You're so bad, dude.
That's awesome.
All right, are we recording?
Yes, sir.
Welcome.
I was like, please don't.
Yeah, okay. Hey, we don't have like a consistent opener.
No, of course not.
Okay, here we go.
Well,
Let's start this for real.
Oh, okay.
Hello.
Hey,
It's Jake and Trae.
in person, in the flesh.
In the flesh.
Once again.
And we are going to do this entire episode with our ASMR voices.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to talk very quietly.
Very ASMR like.
Yes. Very
Whatever
much
they do.
similar to an ASMR video. I don't know if either of those beginnings I just recorded worked.
Okay.
Just leave them both in.
We'll start over. We'll start
Okay,
over again
okay,
for the
okay,
third
okay,
time.
okay.
Ready?
Hello.
Hi.
This is our third introduction for this podcast. How's it going?
It's going, man. Three's the best number anyway.
Yeah, it
so.
is. Yeah, it's a holy number. So, guys, welcome to another episode of CrownCast.
Welcome.
Full disclosure, we just recorded an episode of CrownCast about 5 minutes ago. So hopefully you just came from listening to that moments ago as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, we are still at my house, at my table, with all of our equipment in person.
Your nice table, dude. The one. Why don't you talk about this table? Because we should take a pic. I gotta take a picture. And
It is. I am very proud of it. The story behind the table is when Mariah and I were moving to Midlothian, we were thinking we were going to end up renting this house that was honestly too big for what we needed, but it was, for many reasons, we were thinking we were going to rent it, but it was too big. We didn't have a table that was going to fit in the dining room, and we didn't have like a ton of money to just spend on furniture. And so Mariah finds this big slab of wood from this guy Rusty on Facebook, and we buy it for $100, and we're like, we'll just, sand it down, slap some legs on it, make it a kitchen dining room table. Well, anyway, we don't end up renting that place, but we have this piece of wood, and we end up letting it air out in our apartment for 6 months so that it can dry out. And then I'm like, okay, I think it's about ready, but it's got this huge bow in it. And so anyway, had the amazing fortune of meeting this guy in our neighborhood who he had a wood shop. He was super nice, and he helped me, and it took about a month of work on it at different points, but got it pretty flattened out and sanded down. Then shout out to Jay Waffle, who pointed me towards this finish.
Hey.
And
Jay runs his own wood business.
Yes.
Called WAFFLE WOODSHOP.
Follow WAFFLE WOODSHOP. Great Instagram channel.
Yeah, really cool stuff. He's got like pens, dude. Like wooden pens and like shaving equipment. It's so cool.
Freaking pens, dude.
You told me I can't shave because of freaking wood, dude.
But no, he makes awesome stuff, sells awesome stuff, coffee tables. I don't know if he does desks or whatever. Most of it's smaller stuff, I guess, but he does bigger stuff too. He's really talented. But
And
he pointed me toward the finish on this table, and it looks really nice. And then put some legs on it, and something that we're very proud of. It's a live edge table, so it's kind of got this cool thing. And
yeah, it's sweet, dude. It's sweet. It's got these little thing. If we could visually describe, it's got like these little wooden pieces that hang off the edge. It's got this huge cut in it, so it looks like that. It's obviously no one would sit there, but you could put stuff there.
Yeah, exactly.
Like food.
There's like kind of this overhang you could put food out there. Honestly, it will probably even in a couple of years maybe be the wrong size because you can only comfortably fit. You can maybe fit 8 people around it, but that's a little uncomfortable. So we may end up having to get a different table. But, I mean, what a great podcasting table this would be.
No, it's a solid table.
Yeah.
Dude, I know we spent 5 minutes on this table, but you all are missing out. It's a nice table. It's a good one. Jay, you did a great job with your advice, buddy.
Yes.
And you're a great Reinhardt. Thanks for always having my back.
Seriously, follow Waffle Reinhardt shop too.
I know he does. My hope for him one day is that that we'll make a guitar number 1, but number 2 is
oh
that.
My gosh, that would be amazing.
Yeah, we were talking about it. We kind of trailed off because I was just so busy with law school and the bar exam prep that I was just like, I can't even think about it right now.
Yeah.
But I would love to get back on that, Jay. The second thing that I wish he would do is like, it's probably way too difficult. It's just like little custom Overwatch figures.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, like a wooden Reinhardt
it'd be
skin.
so detail oriented though.
Yeah, it'd be insane.
Yeah, like, unless you made them very, I don't know, inspired by, but not exactly like them.
Also, that's like I feel like that is like asking me to be like, could you compose a symphony like Beethoven? It's like that's okay. Like I can try, but it probably won't sound like it probably won't be great.
You'd have to be one of the like all times to do that.
Yeah. But Jay's got the perseverance and the determination.
A guitar would be sick, though.
A guitar would be sick.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Which you are on the hunt for another guitar right now, are you not?
I am.
A special kind of guitar that I did not know existed until you texted me about them.
Well,
I still kind of don't see the purpose. I would never buy one of those guitars, to be honest with you.
He's talking about headless guitars. So like I like
Is that the
to.
name of? I thought it was more about the. What's the name of that fret styling? How it's all angled.
Multi-scale.
Multi-scale.
Yeah, multi-scale.
Headless is
headless
cool.
multi-scale.
Headless multi-scale.
Well, let me explain. So the head of a guitar is the place where the tuning pegs are. You know, typically where the brand names are. For anyone who's just unfamiliar with guitar terminology, a headless guitar would cut that off. You wouldn't even mess with that. The tuning pegs would be on the bridge or something like that, and then you would just have like some sort of locking nut at the top where the head would be.
Would you actually string it opposite of normal? You'd put the strings up at the top and pull them down.
I believe so. It might depend on the guitar, but most people I've seen string it from the bridge up to the locking nut. Yeah. And then scale length is the distance between the start of the bridge of the guitar to the nut, basically. And longer scale lengths are better for like low tuned notes, and then shorter scale lengths are better for high pitched notes. And essentially most guitars are the same scale length. It's not a problem though, because most 6-string guitars just feel comfortable at a certain scale length, anywhere between like 24 and 26 inches feels pretty good. But when you start getting into extended range playing, like 7-string, 8-string, even 9-string territory, it gets really difficult, because if you choose to go with the shorter scale length, you're going to have flubby low strings. But if you choose to go with the longer scale length and playing on the high notes, it's not going to feel comfortable. It's going to feel really tight and kind of just stiff.
You can't really bend quite the same.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. But with a multi-scale guitar, you actually have the best of both worlds, because you can have a longer scale length at the top and then a shorter one at the bottom. So like it feels good all across the board.
Yeah.
So
but
like,
looking at it, you kind of have this fanned look on the frets, which is totally foreign to me. I didn't know. I mean, that's shows you the difference.
They call it
in
fan frets.
level.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's cool looking to me, and in fact,
it is.
I believe, I don't know if it fits your hand better, but most of the videos that I see of people that own these guitars are like, I don't even notice it. Like after a couple minutes. Like,
yeah. It is slight. It looks slight.
You think you would pick it up and be like, I don't know if I could do this, but I think it's just like one of those new things that once you get adapted to, it's like, no, it's no different than any other guitar.
Yeah.
But I would love to have a headless multi-scale instrument, and typically the people that make those are companies like Strandberg or Ormsby. Strandberg's like a Swiss company, and Ormsby is an Australian company. And I just love their guitars. I love the way they look, and I just want that. I'm at the point in my life where I really care about versatility and ergonomics.
Yeah.
So I want to hold something that feels really comfortable.
Yeah.
And it just feels that I won't get worn out playing.
Yeah.
But it's got to have like that functionality of humbucker, split coil, on both sides, and like I want that tonal versatility as well.
Yeah.
That's what I really want.
Yeah.
I'm really interested in that. Also, it's got to be extended range. I gotta have a 7 or an 8 string, because my 8 string is it feels tight to play.
Yeah.
It's not that it's a bad 8 string. It's just I feel like I've outgrown it as a player.
Yeah.
And I just want something more comfortable.
Yeah.
And then I have a bunch of 6 strings, no 7 strings. So I want something in the middle that I could play, something that I could maybe play like at church or something, but something that I could also like blame the season music for.
Sure. Yeah.
So who knows?
Your taste is continually ticking up in price, though.
Yes.
Like every guitar you buy is a little more expensive than the last one.
Yeah, that's very true.
But that's for good reason.
It is for good reason. Yeah. Hopefully, if everything with the bar exam works out, I'll be making a decent amount of money to even think about.
More money than zero money.
Yes. Yeah.
Or negative money.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, but well, anyway, I wanted to also, in our last episode, we talked a little bit about Blame the Season, which Trae had just put out not even a week ago. A week ago this Friday.
Yeah.
Came out on Friday.
Well, depending on when I release this episode, that might not be true.
Well, yeah.
It came out August 7th.
From when we're talking about it right now.
Yeah.
But also before that, a few months ago, this is how long we haven't recorded these episodes for, put out a terrific EP under the label TOREI, which if you haven't checked out TOREI, you should. It's a bunch of different stuff. Lo-fi kind of, it's not jazzy per se, but it's just kind of instrumental, guitar based.
Yeah.
Although I don't even know. Yeah, it is.
I like to call it a musical, an entity that is comprised of elements of jazz, rock, and lo-fi.
Yeah.
Which is not, that just rolls right off the tongue, right?
Yeah.
But when I describe it to people, it's not like right now in its early stage, in its like forming stage, that I'm just experimenting with a bunch of different sounds. And the first album, Hello, is essentially those experiments.
Yeah.
And hello.
Should have had Melania Trump on the cover of your album.
No. That would be so crazy. Oh my gosh. Actually, I'll like put the opacity down so low so she's in there like in the sky, like hovering. So she's just like there.
She's in like, her face is in the raindrops on the the cover.
Essentially. She's in my car. Just looking out the side window. Anyway, it's but not only is it comprised of those elements, it's guitar driven. I feel like I write with guitar in mind,
and that's what's kind of driving the melody in most of the songs.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah, but I think it's really approachable. Like, I don't know, I can't think of anyone I know who would have that it would be on, and they would be like, "Can you please turn this off?" You know what I mean? Like, if I played Blame the Season and my family was in the room, they'd be like, "What is, like, please turn on something else."
That's hilarious.
Not out of offense to your music, just because they don't care for metal, but
I know that's okay.
But they this, I mean, it is great. It is. I told Trae, it's like perfect study music, but it's also completely listenable to by itself as actual songs. Like, it's interesting enough to pay attention to, absolutely, but it's also good enough that, or I guess it has such a good kind of like backbone, each song, that you can just let it ride in the background, and I get tons of work. I just wish it was longer, honestly. Yeah. It's kind of gotten me into like that playlist I was playing before, the lo-fi, there's this great study music playlist on Spotify that I've started following, that's lo-fi stuff that I've started following in the last couple of weeks, largely because of TOREI, and it's really relaxing to me. So everyone should check it out.
That's great. I feel good that I was able to at least be a gateway to that genre of music for you. That's really cool.
Yeah. Well, I kind of thought that stuff was just bland, boring, kids making music on their computers kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And that does exist out there, and there's a lot of garbage. But there's a kid I remember in my dorm freshman year, sweetest dude, but he was always just making music on his computer. Mm-hmm. But I always felt like it was weird because he couldn't really play guitar. He wasn't actually really very musical. He just liked putting beats and stuff, which is fine. Yeah. But there's a lot of stuff that I feel like sounds like that out there that someone just made on their computer, and it's like, well, I'm a musician. But yeah. And I guess I shouldn't judge that because there is musicianship in that. But yours is not like that. It is the best of both worlds.
My fear, I really do like lo-fi music, and a lot of people love it. Mm-hmm. My fear is that it'll become so popular it'll implode. You know, that like people are like, oh, lo-fi, kind of eye rolly, and that's like, that worries me a little bit, because I think the sound of the music and the particular tonalities that they choose, the 7 chords and stuff like that, I just think it really speaks to me, and it feels like a cool, like, chill hop experience. Mm-hmm. So I'm afraid that it'll, like, everyone will become a lo-fi artist and it'll just implode, you know? So well, maybe not implode, but it'll be, you know, it's like what, if we're being honest, like, what do you need to make lo-fi really? You just need some good samples, or you need to know how to create those samples, and then you put them together, and then you copy and paste to your heart's content. So
right,
it's like,
and you can make it as short or long as you want. Yeah,
exactly. So that's why I was particularly happy that Dead Mall Dancing, the second track on TOREI,
my favorite track,
is like I'm playing that on guitar, you know, with the track. So it felt like lo-fi in a sense that was alive to me, you know, because it was something that I played. It wasn't just like a sample that I had found. I have nothing against that, by the way. I think use samples. Please use samples, because I think a lot of creativity can be sparked from that. But it was fun to create my own sample, you know. Yeah. So,
and it, again, that's I think the best track on there, and it's because it is very lo-fi, but it's very clearly guitar. It's also the most jazzy, but it doesn't sound like jazz.
A little bit of everything.
That's what I don't understand, why people are like, jazz is so stupid. They just play the wrong note. I don't know. I'm like, well, it's so broad. Like, listen to music like that. Like, it's just...
Yeah.
And it's not jazz. Dead Mall Dancing isn't jazz, but it's jazz-inspired, and there's a lot of that in there.
Yes. Yeah. I think inspiration is the way to put it, because you can hear pretty much every song on that album was inspired by some type of sound.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of took it and did what I want with it.
Yeah. Now, where does like TOREI go from here? Like, what's your plan? Do you have much of a plan for it? Like, is it just kind of a general musical outlet?
I do have a plan for it. Well, I have a plan in the sense that I'm writing music for it now.
Okay.
I don't really have a vision as far as like, what do I want it to become? I think right now it's just another creative thing for me, because I wanted to release music like that, like fun instrumental music, but I didn't want to release it under Blame the Season, and I didn't want to just vaguely call it CrownCast.
What a weird return for Blame the Season.
Yeah, lo-fi. But I also did not want to just vaguely release music under CrownCast Studios, because there's nothing to attach to. It's like, oh, did you hear that new single that CrownCast Studios put out?
Sure, yeah.
That doesn't roll off the tongue as much. So I thought, I need another entity that is kind of like my persona, my internet type of persona, and I just felt like TOREI was the thing to call it, and it's all my gamer tags are TOREI now. People call me TOREI.
For those who don't know, TOREI is from what? From what? Yeah, like, where does that name come from?
Oh, it's literally just, so I'm actually learning Japanese right now, and this is probably people aren't gonna like the name as much when I tell them why or where it came from. And I'm learning Japanese right now, and all I did was just kind of like write out phonetically what my name would be in Japanese. So it'd be like TOREI, but it's just TOREI. You know, if you just say it,
kind of harden the R, and
yeah. So that's pretty much where the name comes from. I'm kind of thrilled that I feel like I don't feel like I'm the very first person to like make that connection or to come up with that name, but I certainly haven't seen it everywhere, and I feel like it's a thing that I can call like mine in a sense.
Yeah.
And hopefully, I hope my hope for TOREI is that'll become really popular, that'll speak to people, and that you know, I don't know. I don't know what I want for me, but I know what I want for other people, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, I want people to feel the things that I'm feeling when I write, but I don't necessarily, you know, I'm not trying to be a millionaire from this, but
sure.
You know.
Well, almost nobody gets to millionaire from music,
exactly.
So.
Not from lo-fi.
Yeah, we're not yet.
I'll say that.
Yeah, but although would you say Post Malone is sort of lo-fi ish, like a 10% kind of thing?
Well, then we start getting into the conversation of, well, it's lo-fi inspired, right?
Yeah,
it's like,
right. Yeah.
You can have elements of
phone. Seriously, I'm just kidding. It happened in the last episode.
It did happen in the last episode. My gosh,
Easter egg.
Yeah, I'm just gonna sample that and make that a lo-fi song. So people
This
will be
is
like
one long
looking at,
intro to a song.
people will be looking at their phones listening to my music.
Yeah.
There's actually a song. Oh, the cool thing about the first track of Hello, A Toast to My Friends was featured on a Discord playlist.
Oh.
A Discord community playlist. They had reached out to people and said, "Hey, post your SoundClouds in the in the comment section." I didn't have a SoundCloud for it, so I made a I was like quickly making a SoundCloud, and I made one for CrownCast Studios.
On SoundCloud.
Yeah. Well, yeah. CrownCast Studios is the SoundCloud, so it's not TOREI, but I will upload things that CrownCast has done. So it can kind of get confusing, but I was featured on the Discord community playlist, and awesome. There's a lot of plays on that song now.
That's awesome.
Not like thousands, but like hundreds more than I had.
Sure.
And that makes me happy. And I felt like I thought it was interesting that they chose. I sent them my album, and I thought it was interesting that they chose the first track. Maybe because they just didn't want to listen to the whole thing, and they were just trying to get it done.
They're like, oh, this sounds good.
Yeah, but I thought that they would pick Dead Mall Dancing.
That's what I was gonna say. Because I was looking up on Spotify what's most listened to. It looks like it's Dead Mall Dancing, and then Slow Time.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah.
Oh.
Toast to My Friends is third.
Wow.
So.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should check out those stats. I really just kind of released it and turned a blind eye. I just didn't want to know. But maybe that's bad. Wow. But I was featured, so they picked A Toast to My Friends to be played, and actually I think that was a good choice because I think most of the songs in that playlist were like chill hop, lo-fi, like some kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I think people were surprised to like come across a full band song and instrumental.
Yeah.
Because I had some comments on the thing. They were like, "Whoa, love this," yada yada yada. So
that's the one song that you could have almost added a melody and lyrics to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. So the whole reason I mentioned that is because one of the first few songs on that Discord community playlist was a song that uses the Discord ping.
Oh, interesting.
And samples it.
So they loved that.
But when I was playing, I kept checking my Discord like, who is messaging me? And then all of a sudden it was like harmonizing, and I thought I was like losing my mind, like the Discord thing. It was so crazy. I like effectively made me check my Discord too many times because I was like, what's happening? You cannot have been
the only person who that happened to.
I'm definitely not.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that song's got like thousands of plays.
Yeah.
So I wonder if it's just for the ping, like, oh well, haha, and then they stopped.
Right. Yeah.
No, it's a good song though.
Yeah. So you will do more stuff. Is it soon? When do you think more stuff?
That's a great question. What I'm trying to.
You've got time now.
I am in the incubation stage of the next album, where I'm just like writing things and forecasting what I want it to sound like, but I've got no hard answers on a length or even a style. It's hard to say. I think it's going to be a little more of there's going to be more of my favorite things on the album. So I'm going to have more lo-fi, but also more band stuff. It's going to be a more balanced album, I think. It'll be both. And I don't know. It's pretty much just going to be based on feedback, I feel like. I feel like I'm going to take some risks, but I'm also going to listen to what people have to say and listen. That's why I ask people, please tell me your favorite song, because that'll help me kind of like guide my writing. And I also get to write for you. Like if you tell me your favorite song and I'm writing a song in that style, I'm thinking, okay, I'm doing this for so-and-so, because they liked that track. And another thing I'd love to do is to not abandon melodies. I'd love to bring melodies back and reharmonize them, or maybe do them in a different way, faster, slower. I kind of want TOREI not to just be like just album based, but like essence based, like you know what I mean? So like if you were listening to the next album and you heard the melody from either A Toast to My Friends or Slow Talk or any of the, and you heard it like again, you would kind of feel like a sense of, oh, I feel like I've been here before, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like now I'm here today, and that's how I want TOREI to be. I want it to be this thing that's just like, I don't say everlasting, but like this experience that people keep on having, but not forgetting the past,
Yeah.
So that's how I'm viewing it, but I have no idea how long I want it to be, or how crazy I want it to be, how like heavy I want it to be, or how soft. I have no idea.
Yeah.
So,
well, I'm excited for whatever you decide to do. I definitely want more. Is all I know. Yeah. So I'm all for longer.
You say track 2, Dead Mall Dancing is your favorite?
Dead Mall Dancing is my favorite, but I like them all. I also I really like Flare too. I know that one's
I do like Flare.
Flare is nice. but they're all good. Feels Like Summer was a good. I mean, that was a good. I think it was good to do a cover.
Yes, that was an interesting decision to put that one on there. That was actually a song that I wrote before TOREI was like a thing. Yeah. And then I just kind of adopted it. I was just like, well, this is TOREI. Like, this is what it would sound like. It's like a kind of a fusion, smooth kind of thing that I like to play. And I thought that is TOREI in my mind. So I might as well just say that's who. I mean, it was me anyway. So, you know, whether or not I called it that when it began doesn't matter. Right. Because it was me from the beginning. So, yeah. But as far as another cover, that's a good question too, is will I do another cover? Yeah. Or because most of my online time with music has been let's do covers under CrownCast Studios and then let's release original music under different names. Yeah. The question is my next cover going to be a CrownCast cover or is it going to be a TOREI cover? You know. So
it's a good question. It'd almost be interesting to hear you do a TOREI cover of Feels Like Summer. It was a very already kind of lo-fi song in many ways. Like the bass of it, I think was kind of lo-fi. But it'd be interesting if you could do a lo-fi cover of a song that's not lo-fi at all, like almost like a classical song, or like a movie score song, or like something very not lo-fi, and see how that turned out.
Yeah, you mean like arrange it like that? Because a lot of people take movie score samples and just put lo-fi, or you know what I mean?
Right.
That's what some of the artists we were listening to earlier today were doing.
Right.
But you mean like just literally like reconstruct a song?
Reconstruct it, yeah. Like what if you took the Star Wars soundtrack?
And not sample Star Wars, but take the melodies from Star Wars.
Not like do the first 2 seconds like bam, ba bam, bam, you know, and like and use that. But like, I don't know. That's you said inspiration, so I'm just giving you thoughts. You said if we tell you what we want you to do, you'll write a song for us.
So you said that. You promised that.
You said it to me.
You ran on that. That was your campaign.
That was your version of building a wall, was I will write you a song.
I know. And you need to deliver. That's weak, man. Or even reverse engineer it. So like take a lo-fi song that's popular.
Oh, and then classicalize it or something.
Yeah. Or just make it a full band thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that'd be so interesting. But the thing with lo-fi, like the sampling and the chopping and the cutting, and that's hard to do in real life because that's the point of chopping and cutting, is it's supposed to sound not human and not possible. Yeah. Dude. Oh my gosh. Actually, I just thought of something that I'm going to do with TOREI, but I don't know if I want to say it. I might want to say it off podcast because I want it to be a surprise, but I also maybe not want that because I want people to be like,
get people interested.
I do want to say it really badly.
No guarantees that this will happen, but go for it.
And also, at most, it's not like TOREI or this podcast is going to blow up before the album comes out.
Right. But there's people banging on your door for the next album.
They're like freaking out. There's like fireworks like outside.
People camped outside.
Yeah. Fire trucks show up and like. Oh man, that'd be so messed up. Yes. So I'll just say it.
Okay.
Are you familiar with Vocaloids?
No. Sounds like
not at all, dude. So, okay, I don't even know where to begin. There's a wonderful YouTube video. If you just type in Vocaloid on YouTube, it's like one of the first videos. I'm so sorry, I can't remember the guy's name.
Vocaloid.
We could look it up right now. Because I do want to give this guy credit. Yeah. I do want to give this guy credit.
Vocaloid, the modern singing synthesizer. So it's a software. Is that what you're saying? Or you're saying it's a specific YouTuber who's named that?
No. It's a software for sure.
Vocaloid 5. Play with audio.
So, okay, I found it. I think if you...
Oh boy. Wait, sorry, I'm playing this. Is this not...
Don't play it.
Well, this is real time, baby.
I don't want to get copyright strike.
Oh, fair enough.
If any of those songs are like...
Yeah, okay, I'll mute it.
Anyway.
1,000 vocal phrases. Okay.
Sorry, it's the attorney in me.
Right.
Maybe I can't say that until August or October.
Oh, no, there's a little attorney
It's the
in
law
you
student in me.
Now.
Yeah, I'll say that for now. I got to wait on the passage, but... Anyway, so to get back, if you heard me say the word Vocaloid and you're like, I have no idea what that is, you should watch the video on YouTube called So You Want to Get Into Vocaloid, a beginner's guide by, it looks like Joey Z. It's like Joey Z Cafe.
Whoa, Joey Z. Sounds like a podcast host.
Spelt like, the reason why I had trouble with that is because it's spelled Joez.
Joez.
Yeah, so I was like, it's not Joez.
Yeah,
it's probably
Joez.
Joezy. Who knows? But you have to watch that. It's a fantastic. It's about 50 minutes, but it's a fantastic video about like what Vocaloid
animating people.
No, I'll tell you what it is. But it's a good video about what it is, how to listen to it, or like where to find it, and then how to make it if you want to get into it.
Virtual singers.
So here's the thing with Vocaloid is that
sorry, I want to hear it. Anyway,
it's we'll listen. Yeah, we'll listen to some in a second. But it's essentially a fake voice. It is for, I don't even know how to describe it. People, the best way I could describe it is how to make it. So you would take you would take a popular vocalist of some sort, bring them into a studio, and have them record every single sound that the human voice can make. Okay. Like, if you were to go back into our podcast and like just cut off the beginning of words, like,
oh geez, that sounds mind-numbing.
Like,
to make.
Yeah, like for the word cut off right now, you would have to record me going k, and then and then pretty much the vowels would be the synth, the sine wave synth, and then t, and then and then
jeez.
So you would have to record all these sounds and piece them together in a software, and it's basically just like a fake singer, and that a synth is producing. It's really hard.
Does it sound fake when they do
sometimes
it?
But that's part of the appeal.
Right.
That's why people use it.
Yeah.
You can have it be so like perfect, and like no vibrato whatsoever, and like straight. It sounds like auto-tune to the max. Or you could really throw in some imperfections in there and throw some vibrato in there and some note glides and stuff to make it sound like a human voice. It's really as much as you craft it.
Yeah.
As much time as you spend with it will be how much it sounds like a real human.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. It's actually crazy because the leaps that they've made, because Vocaloid like 1, 2, and 3 just kind of sounded like, as obviously it was a robot.
Crummy, yeah.
Vocaloid 5, dude, it's like starting to sound like people, and it's like really weird.
Wow. So you'd want to use that? Is that what you're saying?
All that to say is that I'm very interested in Vocaloids right now, and it's kind of got a weird rep because it's used in the anime community a lot with like glitch pop and stuff like that, and a lot of meme songs are used with Vocaloid, and it's it's got an interesting reputation, but there is a very loyal community to Vocaloid, and when you hear someone who really knows how, I'm so sorry that that keeps happening.
One more and you're out.
One more and the episode's over.
Yeah, and then I own CrownCast Studios.
I didn't sign anything. That'd be so funny if one day it was just like you in the next cover video and there's no sign of me anymore.
So we had a change.
Yeah.
Trae's out.
Yeah. Literally, you've replaced every facet of my life. You get the bar passage.
Yeah.
You're a vocalist to Blame the Season that we just went back and released the album with you going,
overnight.
That's so funny. Yeah, so essentially I would like to experiment with Vocaloid in the next TOREI album. I don't know how I want that to look. I don't know if I want that to be like a part, a full song, or just like some sounds.
Yeah, some part of the
that
sample.
Now that's like I just started thinking about this.
Yeah.
So I really don't even have a plan for that, but I know that I want to use a Vocaloid. It's just a question of how tastefully do I want to use it.
Yeah.
And will you be able to tell, like, if it's a person or not?
Right.
So.
I'd be very curious to hear. I mean, if Tori's kind of experimenting with different sounds, then try it. Like,
yes,
you're broadening your abilities. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it would be sweet. A lot of the interesting thing about Vocaloid is that it's not marketed as like the person, right? So if you had a person come in and famous singer named Rachel, right?
Right.
And it's not marketed as the voice of Rachel. It's marketed as they create a character for the.
That's what I was looking like. They have kind of almost animated faces for these people.
Yeah, those are the instruments. So and you might have heard of Hakuni Mitsu.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
That makes sense that you haven't. Now knowing who you are, that makes total sense that you don't know who that is.
Yeah.
But she is pretty much the face of Vocaloid.
Oh, okay.
Like her, I don't remember when her voice came out specifically, but Hatsune Miku is an instrument. It's not like an artist. So a lot of people kind of mischaracterize it, and they're like, this song by Hakune Miku, and it's like, that's not true. You wrote the song, but featuring the voice of Hakune Miku.
Yeah,
so that's how they market it, is like it's make believe characters is how they market the voices. And there's so many.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it must be an editing nightmare to make that work.
It is a total monstrosity, and you could create your own. I mean, there are third-party. Vocaloid isn't like the king. Sure. Like they have, like they're the prominent.
Did they start the market though? Were they the first ones? You don't know.
I don't know exactly. As far as I know, Vocaloid started somewhere, and then I think it just launched when Japan kind of released like the Hakune Miku pack alongside 5 other anime people. I promise you, dude, the video that I cited earlier, like that will, like, you won't be confused anymore if you just watch that.
Okay.
Straight through.
I want to check it out.
Yeah, it's a good video.
Not to transition too harshly.
Please do. That's what this is about.
we're kind of, I guess, near the end of it, and we don't think we're going to end up talking about this for too long. This podcast is kind of generally about pop culture. Nah, that's too broad. It's about music and games and a little bit of movies and stuff. It's
about various topics and hearing you and I how we talk about it.
Yeah, but it ends up being just kind of like entertainment stuff.
Yeah, so I would say that's probably the majority.
Because we love entertainment. But one of the big things in entertainment recently that I got the chance to experience for the first time, Trae had experienced it in person, but was Hamilton, which Disney Plus dropped the live recording of the original cast on Broadway, Hamilton.
Oh, that's right.
You should. So you haven't seen that yet?
No.
Okay, that'd be interesting to see if your perspective changed after watching that.
That's the original cast, right?
It's the original cast.
Okay.
In their first run or whatever.
Okay, that's why it's in the news again. I totally forgot about that. I was like, why do I keep hearing about Hamilton again? Like,
I mean, Disney bought it for some crazy price. I mean, it was like actually, and this sounded actually a little bit low to me. $70 million, I think, was the price tag, which seems low for something that.
Wow,
crazy! But
do you think they would buy CrownCast Studios for $70 million?
Yeah, well, you'll be getting the letter any day.
I know.
And so anyway, I had not seen it. I have my wife's family loves Hamilton to death, listens to it nonstop. They had like a spiritual experience watching it on Disney. I mean, not literally. They just like were they were crying, and like it was
really?
Like, oh yeah, I mean, they love Hamilton, but they also love that kind of thing a lot.
Oh my gosh,
like musicals and they've been listening to that. I mean, that came out when we were at JMU, Hamilton, I think. So they've been listening to it for years. So it was my first time. I've never listened to Hamilton all the way through.
It sounds like they'll never be satisfied.
What do you mean?
I was referencing one of the Hamilton songs.
Oh, okay. See, this is how little I actually know about Hamilton.
Okay. Maybe I knew a little bit more than I thought.
So I watched it with them, and I liked it. I felt the pressure to like love it, and I really dug it. It was cool. I was a little after listening to the first track. I had asked if it was like, wait, can we do subtitles? They were like, no. I was like, okay. But after the first song, I was like,
please put on subtitles.
I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be the longest 3.5 hours ever because I cannot understand what they're saying. But it got better after that first song. But anyway, I liked it. I'm not super into that kind of music per se.
Yeah. But
I found it, I mean, the lyric writing was really impressive. The amount of stuff that they're able to convey. And some of the actual the music in it is really good. I really liked The Room Where It Happened. I think that was probably my favorite. I know it's kind of like a popular one.
Yeah, that's the caption everyone posts on Facebook. They're like, I'm in the room where it happened.
I know, right?
Yeah,
Hashtag
cool.
Room Where It Happened. Yeah. And you're like, okay, I hate that. That was honestly why I was like ready to hate Hamilton, was people like that. I was like, okay, like get over yourself. It's a play. You got a ticket. But I don't know. What did you think of it? You saw it in person.
I did see it in person,
Broadway, right?
No,
or it's on.
it actually.
You saw it on Broadway?
No, it came to Virginia.
Isn't that what Off Broadway is? No. That's traveling. See, I don't.
Yeah, we're now exiting my area of expertise because I don't know theater or musicals.
I guess it's Broadway traveling, or I don't know what you call that.
They came to like Chrysler or something like that, and that's why I saw them. So it wasn't like the Broadway; it was just people. They were great. Yeah, they were very talented, but it just wasn't the original cast.
Yeah.
No, I thought it was cool. I think, like the thing you just recounted right now with your family having like the religious experience. I think I heard so much of that in advance. Mm-hmm. It was like, it's the best thing ever. It'll convert you. It's like the best thing ever.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, like. I wonder how I'm going to feel about this because it's been so hyped.
For some reason, that primes me to dislike things.
Me too.
When there's that much hype for it.
Yeah.
And nobody was trying to rub it in my face or whatever.
Well, yeah, so I was primed, but I still didn't dislike it.
Yeah.
When I saw it.
Yeah, because it was good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like you go and you understand. You're like, all right, well, I understand why people like it. Like, totally. It's funny how, like, I feel like a lot of the people won't even get the references. Because I was sitting there like noticing all the rap references, and I feel like a lot of Hamilton fans would not. Because really? You know the part where they're doing the jumping thirds, and they're like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You know when they're counting up.
No, I don't.
You don't remember that part? Okay,
no.
Whatever. Anyway, there's a part where they do that, and they're referencing Biggie Smalls the 10 Crack Commandments. Because in the beginning of the song, he's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's like counting.
Really?
And then so like in the play, I was sitting next to my parents. And like, there's like, and they go through that, and I noticed immediately what it was. They were like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and sitting in my seat, I was like, "It's the 10 Crack Commandments." And then they were like, "What?" But they didn't say that. They just stopped.
Yeah.
So just references like that is things that I was noticing.
As someone who listened to classic hip hop or whatever.
Yeah. I was like, "What is going on?"
Yeah. Speaking of like, this is a tangent, but. Have you seen that Donald Glover bit about old rap? Like he was like
stand up.
Yeah, stand up.
No, I can't. I haven't seen it. No.
Okay, he does this bit about like rap from. He says there's people who are like, rap back in the old days was way better. Like that was the good stuff. He's like, no, it isn't. Have you listened to that stuff? They're all rap from the 90s is like, I went down to the hat store and bought myself a hat.
It's like really calm, just like normal, mundane stuff.
Yeah, and he's like, I don't want to hear your hat story. Yeah. And he's like, now rap is like, I'm going to kill you.
I went over to the bank and refinanced my house.
Exactly.
There's a lot of equity.
Yeah, exactly. It's like very just kind of like bum ba dum ba bum 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 bum.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'm gonna kill you. Yeah. I know the general. Yeah, there's still obviously the best rap today is just the ones that are very, very lyrically flowy. I don't even know how to talk about it. It's just the ones that like you listen to it and you're like, man, this guy is really communicating something to me right now.
Yeah.
And it's not hollow words like about, women, money, death, gangs, stuff like that. It's like something that he went through as an experience, or he's been through a lot of trials and tribulations, and you can hear that in the lyrics.
Yeah.
But I'm not a guy that listens to rap often.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's just kind of like whatever. Like I feel like, I think music kind of speaks more to me than lyrics sometimes. So I don't know. So it just depends. You could have like great lyrics, but the music could be like in rap. I'm talking about primarily. I mean, every music, but rap especially is like, I feel like a lot of the times why it's so catchy is because you keep hearing the same copy and pasted like beat. You're just kind of like, okay,
right. Like, okay, I get it.
So it's almost like you're being forced to have it in your head.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's what was nice about Hamilton is it wasn't. every song was pretty unique. Like there were a lot of different kind of sounds and styles happening in it. I mean, they were rapping throughout the whole thing, but there's blues music in there. It's kind of like rock, a little bit like rock.
Oh,
there's like actual hip hop. I just found that to be pretty impressive, especially knowing that like basically just one guy wrote the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is really cool. I totally subscribe to that. I think each song was very different and very memorable.
Yeah,
like
totally.
You know, even sitting here, I still remember like some of the most important parts, and it was a really good show. I'm gonna have to check it out.
Yeah, you should watch it. I don't know how it would be interesting to know what you thought was different about it, but
yes.
So anyway, I guess we don't have tons of thoughts on that, but it was good.
Yeah,
watch it
for sure.
I guess that's that. That's this episode.
It's about that time.
Yeah, it's about that time.
We talked about a lot of stuff, man.
We did.
Don't forget to check out Jay's Waffle Woodshop on Instagram. Woodshop. I will link that in the description.
Woodshop. I think that's what it's called. Waffle Woodshop.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
I will link that in the description. I guess, well, this is going on many different platforms, but in the YouTube video, I will make sure to put Waffle Woodshop in the description.
Mm-hmm. I think he's got an Etsy store too.
Huh?
Does he have an Etsy store too? He sells his stuff. Anyway.
Yes. Yeah, you can find him on Etsy as well. And I say that I want to make sure to plug our friends. Our friends do really cool stuff, and it's always nice to see people create things. You know, we have our day jobs, but we also have like these outlets that I want people to see. I want people to be amazed by Jay's work and everyone's work. I mean, if you have something and we're friends, like I want to talk about it. So yeah, and then,
you heard it here. Trae will write you a song and put it on an album, and if you want a shout out for anything you do, he will give you a shout out online. This is free.
Yeah. At no cost. Use me.
Yeah.
And then throw me away.
But as far as where you can find us, you can find me on Instagram at Jacob Reefer, I think. I don't know.
And
you don't need to follow me on Instagram. I'm not an interesting follow.
What do you mean?
I'm honestly like rarely post.
It doesn't matter.
It's Jake_Reefer. Whatever. I'm not gonna get into
I don't think you said that in the last episode. I think you said something.
I think I said something else. Yeah. Again, I'm not a good follow on Instagram.
I'll
follow Trae.
I'll make sure to put the correct one. Yeah, and you can follow me. It's just my name with X's between the letters. TXRXAXE. You can follow my metal band, Blame the Season VB. Crowns Guard Studios. Just type that in. That's a tag as well. Trying to think if there's anything else. Your boy, the one who got you the table, Rusty. What's his Instagram?
Oh gosh. Oh, I don't know. Rusty. I haven't. Rusty. You're messing with. What?
I'm messing with you.
He's on Facebook Marketplace somewhere.
You just type in who's got him.
It's like your boy Rusty.
Yeah.
Who?
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Rusty.
Yeah.
That's a good name, dude. That's a good name for a dog.
I think it was not Rusty. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's a good doggy name.
It is. Yeah. I mean, he was a human, but it would be a good dog name. Yeah. I bought it from a dog. We should end before we offend someone.
It was just I love doing the podcast in person because it was so funny to watch you like, oh God, what is his Instagram? Knowing that you never even knew what it was.
For the split second, I was like, yeah, it's a good question.
You were so sincere about plugging this guy's info.
Yeah, we gotta get people
so
to
nice. I told you, anybody.
Anybody.
You sell my boy a
seriously.
table.
We will find you, Rusty, on Instagram.
That's so great.
Well, thanks for joining us, guys. Go back and check out the last episode if you missed it.
Yeah.
And, we love y'all.
All right,
Peace
bye.
in the East.
Yes.